Today, we're going to walk you through how I'm going about QAing my own product, because we're building a tool to help with the design QA, but we got to do our own QA. So kind of the old school way of doing it. And on another note, because this tool is specifically being made for designers as the target audience to start, it's got to have a high level of polish. It's got to be pretty good, because if it's not, likely chances that a designer comes back after using a tool that has a low level of polish is not going to be great. Okay. Got to head off to go get a blood test again for this freaking prescription, because the clinic keeps messing up the prescriptions or the tests, so they keep forgetting to complete certain tests, and now I have to go do it again for the third fucking time. Okay, so I guess before we get into this whole thing, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what is going into this QA process and how I'm communicating that to the developers. And so I'm trying to give this to you so you can see if you're a founder yourself, or you're thinking about being a founder and you need to be able to communicate these changes to your engineer or your other co-founders. This cheat sheet should be able to help you here. Number one, we're checking for bugs. And so we're going through the product and then seeing, are there any glitches? Are there things where when you click on buttons, they don't work, they don't go to the right things? When you scroll, are things breaking? When you resize the content, are things not being in the right spot? When you open a drop-down menu, does the thing open halfway? Does it open partway? Like those kinds of things we're looking to see in terms of bugs. Next up, we're going through from a designer's perspective, and we're seeing, are there any inconsistencies in the visual design, the UI, kind of the same thing there, but are the button colors matching? Do the font sizes match that were proper in Figma? Are the sizes of the containers and the components right? So like if you're designing out a card and then the card on the live site is correct, like is that in the right spot? You're also going through some of the times, like copy is correct, the way you're conveying the message is right, do we need to make changes on the body copy itself? And you can oftentimes drop that in there. The other piece is we just usually do a tag as other to kind of fit any needs of your team that might have specific requirements of any sort like that. And so that's kind of like the quick little synopsis of how Design QA to hopefully help you.
I keep coming back to
you. Okay, let's walk through a use case documenting an issue that I see on the site for this. Here we are on the Rally dashboard, and we want to go in and we want to be able to actually say like, hey, communicate what issues we're finding. So in here, if I go in and I click allow on the Figma preview, and I hit allow access, we can blur that out, it says invalid state, which tells me that we have an issue with our authentication. And so in order to document that, I'm going to want to go ahead and go over and convey that in our tracker. And so in the tracker over here, I've added Figma access seems not to work when clicking on it from the home page. I then added, when a user clicks on the Figma banner from the home page, they should be able to complete the verification. The priority is urgent because that is a big feature of this tool, and so we want to make sure we're staying on top of that. And then we add a video link that we had recorded previously of what that is, so that they can see that. And then if it's relevant, we'll screenshot and update on this one. I think the video is more important than the screenshot. And then for the overall pieces in here, we have a task where we display what the issue is that we found, what the intended action or interaction should be for that specific issue, status, and priority. So this is like started, not started, in progress, blocked, etc. And then high, medium, urgent, and that sort of thing with another link. So that's like the process that we're having to go through with some of this stuff. But once all that is documented, then we'll be able to continue on. But I do think this one has more potential. I had a lunch yesterday with them. I was like, hey, how are you guys thinking about like getting businesses on, what's the growth model. It's interesting to hear like how they're positioning. And I think they also, like whoever runs that has good networking connections as well. And so I think it's like strategic plays to do this. This is like really, I'm very excited like having all this come together. Being a designer, feeling this pain point personally for so many things. This is like the tool that I've always wanted and never really had or found. There's been things that are close. It's kind of like what I've always wanted Loom to be, but Loom has always been a pain in the ass on like little micro things, like it's detail that Loom is not quick on. And so this is, just like, I don't know, really exciting to see come to life. So we're gonna keep going through this QA process, and it's so cool. I'm like getting more and more. I really am. I'm getting more and more excited the more and more that we like are going through this. This is like seeing a baby, your own little baby come to life. So I forgot to film a closing, but if you've made it this far in the video, all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you find value in this. My name's Wyatt. I'm documenting my journey of launching a startup in public, and so go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to follow along with the journey, and we'll see you next time.